Hello, Barendipitous here with another video for the Board Game Shelf, and this is Sea Salt and Paper. This is another game I got from a local game store recently. I've just kind of had my eye on this one. I love small games like this. You just kind of just fit this in a small part of like a backpack or something. It's just a single deck of cards, and I've heard a lot of cool things about this. The art is fantastic. It's a lot of beautiful origami. I actually just barely earlier today played a couple of games with my wife Cobweb, and I'm trying to open this one hand. There we go. But yeah, just a very nice little box with the instructions here, and then this is it. Just all the cards. I'm aware there are one or two small expansions that come with this, but you really only just need this. It took a little bit of getting used to for the rules, but this is kind of a funny little thing. I've noticed some board games like to include a little card that lets you kind of like pose with this card if you're the winner. But anyway, a couple of helpful reference cards, and then of course all the normal cards here. These are the normal cards. They are again, yeah, everything is there's just beautiful origami on it with all this kind of sea creature theme and everything. Just that alone, it's wonderful. It's beautiful. So how does this work exactly? Well, you basically play up until a certain number of points. For 2 players, that'd be about 40 points. This is a 2 to 4 player game. I liked it with 2 players. It was very quick and easy once we understood how it worked. For 2 players, you generally play up to 40 points. For 3 players, up to 35 points. For 4 players, up to 30 points. What you do is you just have the single deck of cards here. No one starts with any cards at all, and you just start the game by, after shuffling the deck, you just have 2 discard piles, just like this. All right. So on your turn, what you do is you have 2 options at the start of your turn. You can either take a card from the top of one of the 2 discard piles. You cannot look through the discard piles, by the way. Take a card from one of the 2 discard piles, or you can take 2 cards from the top of the deck and then discard one on one of the discard piles. And then, after you've done that, after you've either taken a card from a discard pile or taken 2 from the deck and discarded one, then you may, if you wish, play a couple of cards. Play a duo of cards. Over the course of the game, you're probably going to your empty hand is probably going to be filled with 3, 4, 5 cards or things like that, right? So you're probably going to end up with a hand of cards like this, and it's up to you to decide if you want to play a duo of cards. What I mean by that is there are some cards that work together. So, and this is explained on this reference card here. These are duo cards. You only get the effect when you play a pair of cards. So, for example, in this theoretical hand right here, I have 2 cards that are crabs. Okay, so I can take these 2 out of my hand and play them in front of me, and I get the crab effect. And it says here that the effect is you choose choose a discard pile, look at it without shuffling it, and take a card from it and put it in your hand. You don't have to show it to other players. That's what the crab card does. If you play 2 boats, you get to take another turn. If you play 2 fish, you get to take the top card from the deck and add it to your hand. If you have a matching pair of a swimmer and a shark, you get to steal a card from somebody else. There are other cards that are not in these duos. You'll see penguins, you'll see shells, you'll see octopuses, sailors. These are generally cards that have numbers along the bottom here, along the bottom of the icon here. This indicates, if you're familiar with Sushi Go, this shouldn't be too much of a surprise. The number indicates how many points those cards are worth, depending on how many of those cards you have. So in this theoretical hand here, with this sailor, this penguin, this fish, and let's say I decide to take this penguin here on my turn, that would mean that these 2 penguins together combined equal 3 points. If I had a third penguin in my hand, that would be 5 points total from all of my penguins. You can see here for the sailor, if you have one sailor, it's 0 points, but if you have 2 sailors, it's 5 points, and so on and so forth. So there's a bit of that as well. So through the game, you're essentially like, you're taking cards, discarding, playing pairs of cards if applicable, the boats and the crabs and stuff. However, At the end of your turn, if you reach 7 points, you can end the round. You have a couple options here. Now, it's my understanding that when it says 7 points, it's talking about the points that you have in front of you, like on the table, as well as in your hand. So if you've played like a couple of fish, for example, that's 1 point. And if you have like if you have two penguins, it's 3 points. If you have two sailors, that's 5 points. If you had two penguins, two sailors in your hand, as well as a pair of fish, that would be a total of 6, 7, 9 points that you have already. So at that point, you could choose to end the round if you wish. And you have two options. You can either say stop or last chance, right? If you say stop, that means everybody scores the points on their cards, just straight up. You just get those points. And again, if you're playing like a two-player game, you're trying to be the first one to reach 40 points total. And after everyone scores, you just kind of just kind of shuffle the whole deck and start a new round. Keep playing until someone reaches the agreed upon number of points. If you say last chance, however, you're essentially betting that you will have more points than everybody else, even if everyone else takes another turn. So if you say last chance, that means that everybody else except you can take one more turn, and then everyone reveals their cards and counts their points. If you still win, if your score is still higher or equal to that of your opponents, you score the points. So that one, if that player's, they get to score their cards and the color bonus. I'll explain that in a moment. Opponents only score color bonus. So basically, for the most part, you would be the only one scoring your cards if you win this last chance bet. If you lose, however, everybody else except you gets to score your cards, except the color bonus. And again, you continue until someone reaches the agreed upon number of points. Now, what is the color bonus? Well, there is a special type of card in here. See if I can find one of them. There's 4 of them in the entire game. Here we go. Mermaid. There are 4 mermaid cards. You can see another copy of that there. But yeah, there's 4 of them in here. And Mermaid has this special effect where the Mermaid card is equal to 1 point per card you have total in front of you and in your hand that matches the color you have the most of. You notice that there are a bunch of colors on these cards. And if you're colorblind, there actually is, or if you have trouble seeing colors, there is a symbolic system here that looks like, where was it? Here. This game is using this system, this color ADD system, the color alphabet. So you can use that. Every single card has a symbol that corresponds to the color it's meant to be. Mermaids are considered white cards. So let's say you have 2 orange cards, 1 green card, and 3 blue cards. Then that would mean this mermaid would be worth 3 points because blue is the color you have the most of, and there's 3 of them. If you had 2 mermaids in your hand, then you would score. They have to score different colors, and it's the ones that you have the most of. So in the hypothetical example, there were, I think 1 orange, 2 green, and 3 blue. Then 1 mermaid would be 3 points for the blue, and 1 mermaid would be 2 points for the green. Now, you may have noticed there's this reference card here. It says, collect all 4 mermaids and win instantly. Like I said, there's 4 mermaids in this game, 4 mermaid cards. If you happen to have 4 mermaid cards in your hand, if you own 4 mermaid cards at the end of a round, you just win the whole game entirely. So you can see how unlikely that is, but that is a very, very cool sort of little added thing. I gotta tell you, I played my very first game that I played just earlier today. I found myself with a mermaid in my hand at the beginning, towards the beginning of the game. I kept drawing from the deck. I got a second one, and I kept drawing from the deck, and I drew a third one. And I'm like, oh my gosh, am I gonna be able to actually win? And so then my wife Cobweb decided to stop the game, but she decided to do the last chance. She decided basically giving me another turn for the possibility of either me getting all my points or her getting all her points. So I'm like, okay, for my last turn, I'm going to draw 2 cards from the deck and hoping that one of them is a mermaid. And it was. I won the game with 4 mermaids on my very first game. Wild, absolutely wild. Love it. Anyway, I don't love the game just because of that. I think this is just a beautiful game, beautiful and elegant and simple. Once you get the hang of all the symbols and everything like that, right? So anyway, that is Sea Salt and Paper. I love it. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, all the best.